Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of the Bullpen with Adam the Bull, brought to you by Bet Rivers. If you're not using the Bet Rivers app, you're missing out. Get on it today. We've got a good deal for players right now. Bet Rivers players who place a same-game parlay of at least $10 on NFL or NCAA football games will receive an entry into the weekly Squares game. Winning Squares can earn up to a $50 bonus bet per entry. See the Bet Rivers app or website for full details. Excited about our guest today. I've known him for a long time NFL insider with SiriusXM. He also does a podcast about the Eagles, of course, Inside the Birds. And it's Adam Caplan. How are you, Adam? Good to talk to you again.
ATB, what's up, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Yeah, great to have you on. And I do want to talk about the Eagles as well, but we got to talk about this disaster that is the Browns. You know, there's been a lot of talk about Bernie Kosar of late because Bernie's went through his liver transplant. Thankfully, he's come out of it so far. It's early. Well, I don't know if you knew this, Adam, but did you know that Bernie Kosar is the last Browns quarterback to win the division? The Browns have not won the division since 1989. That's how bad it's been for the football fans in Cleveland.
That's bad. Yeah, that's bad. You know, the shame of it is, Adam, the roster is better than it's showing, but when you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. That's what I've learned in 27 years of covering this business.
Yeah.
And until Andrew Berry gets a right at quarterback, they're simply not going to win. Despite, you know, if you asked 31 other general managers, they probably would say at least the Browns roster is average, but they're not playing like it because they don't have a quarterback.
No, and you see that no matter how good your defense is in this NFL, it doesn't matter, right? The Browns defense is really good. Myles Garrett is playing at a crazy level. Carson Schwarzenegger's defensive rookie of the year at this point. I mean, let's start with that positive there. And the way Myles Garrett's playing right now, 15 sacks through 10 games.
All right, so this is really interesting. So, I have a training camp tour every year.
Yeah.
Instead of going to Berea this year, because I knew the Browns are coming into Philly where I live.
Right.
Like, you know what? I'm going to watch the Browns for 2 days and join practices. To say the great Eagles offensive line had a problem with Myles Garrett would be an understatement. It was like he was toying with them. I'm trying to go back, and I've had a tour since 2005.
Yeah.
I don't remember in joint practices a more dominant performance by a defender than Myles Garrett I saw here in Philly. Now, what's funny is I remember when he came out for the draft, there were questions about and this, and we're going back to 2017.
Right.
I know people won't remember this or even know this, but there are questions from his tape from Texas A&M about his effort, leadership.
Yeah.
None of that applies as an NFL player. It's really interesting. He's obviously going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, you know, he wanted to be traded. He wanted them to win. And then, of course, he surprisingly signed his extension. I would at least hope if Andrew Berry continues to be the GM for years to come, because I know with Jimmy Haslam, you never quite know what's going to happen, despite what people in the building tell you or what you hear from other people around the league. But if he could get the roster better, obviously a quarterback, and they can make the play. I mean, I want Myles Garrett. I don't know the guy. I just feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
And obviously the fans. And I've talked about the Browns fans for years. We used to battle on now X, but on Twitter. Right. But I feel for them like Cubs fans. They deserve better. And you just talked about it. I did not know that they haven't won. When's the last time they won the division?
89. 1989.
For four teams, Adam, only in the division. I get the Steelers' dominance in Baltimore, but come on, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane. Obviously, Dylan Gabriel doesn't appear to be the answer. I know he hasn't played that much. Shedeur Sanders got his first opportunity. It was pretty ugly there in the second half last week. Now he'll get a chance to play another team that's one of the worst teams in football, the Raiders. What are your expectations for Sanders for this game, and what are your thoughts on him just in general?
All right, so Adam, this is, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of what I have. So players of Sanders' talent, he is talented. They don't drop to the fifth round because the tape's bad. The tape was good. It was everything else, social maturity overall. Some of his pre-draft interviews were not great. Being kind.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, coaches share information with other coaches, front office executives share information. Believe it or not, they talk. They're friends.
Yeah.
And things happen. And he dropped to the fifth. Now, here's the thing with Shedeur. He obviously comes from a football family. We all know who his dad is. There's talent with this kid. Getting all the ones this week. I'm not absolving him from the way he played, but he came off the bench. Like he had no work with the ones. The way it works is talking to coaches over the years. The starting quarterback, if they are 40 reps in practice, he either gets all 40 or like 38 of them.
Right.
And it's only one game. And the good thing is it's not a weather issue here. Okay, This game is at Las Vegas. You don't have to worry about that. Let's see Shedeur develop. And I told people during interviews before the season started, I said Shedeur will start by Thanksgiving. Trust me on that. There's no one on the roster who's good enough for quarterback. That's where we are. Let him play. The dude. Here's what I like. He's not a running quarterback. He's got enough mobility to get out of his own way. Good size, good arm, really good touch on the football. There's a lot to like about him as a quarterback. The social maturity stuff, this has got to get better, and that's where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm fast. It's a level of excitement, at least for Browns fans.
Yes.
You know, what do we got? Let's see what we got. We've been talking about this guy all year. Excited to see him play and the Browns obviously are lacking talent on offense. The offensive line's a disaster. The wide receiver group's not very good. There is some promise, though, with Quinshon Judkins at running back and Harold Fannin at tight end. I was curious your thoughts on those two guys.
All right, let me start with the latter, Fannin.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. He's not a real good athlete. He had the one big year last year with Scott Loeffler, who was the head coach and play caller at Bowling Green. Now, Loeffler's Eagles quarterbacks coach. But Fannin dropped despite the huge numbers because he's kind of stiff in the way he runs, not real fast, but he's a good route runner. He's physical. He's strong. He looks good. Now, I'm a Cedric Tillman guy. Now, We'll see how he's been hurt a lot.
Yes, he has.
The guy could play. Jerry Jeudy is a decent slot. And Malachi Corley was lost with the Jets. Talking to the Jets, he just was so far behind when he got there. It just didn't work. And Chief Njoku is a good look. The guy's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
And Judkins is a bell cow back. He is a good player. You know, obviously what happened off the field, but everything's been cleared up.
Yep.
Isaiah Bond can run. I'm going to disagree with you slightly. There's talent there. It's not a bad receiver core. Everybody's got to be healthy. They got to have a quarterback who could throw the football. Sanders is a better talent than Gabriel. I know he dropped to the fifth, but there were reasons for it.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think we'll see it. I would hope Kevin Stefanski will let him QB the rest of the season. We shall see.
I don't know why he wouldn't. I mean, I would say this, Adam. It would have to be such a disaster. They'd have to get him out of there to save him. Like it looks so big. It's kind of obvious sometimes. He actually had a couple good throws. I know 4 for 16 is bad.
Yeah, no, he had some good throws. I agree.
Yeah, but look, getting the ones here. Just be patient, folks. Just let it happen. If it's a great game, don't put him in the Hall of Fame. Just relax a little bit.
I agree. I want to talk about the team you cover the most, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles a little bit. There's always so much a controversy, I guess. Maybe that's the wrong word, on Twitter, on social media, about Jalen Hurts. But we know social media, sometimes we think that's real life. It isn't. What's the reality in your mind? How good is Jalen Hurts, and what does the fan base really think about him?
Well, the fan base, the Hurts backers are defenders, and it almost doesn't matter what you tell them. They blame the head coach, the coordinator,
right?
Everyone but the quarterback. And the people who either watch coaching tape or study it or work at the NFL and do advanced scouting on the Eagles scheme and offense know that Hurts has got limitations. It's not a secret to anyone who knows football. But the guy wins.
Right.
So that's the tough part, the catch-22. All this guy does is win. Been in 2 Super Bowls. His first Super Bowl was the best game of his career. He was phenomenal. But he has certain issues that you would think they'd be better by now, and they're not. So processing, stop holding the ball too long. It is what it is, but they continue to win. Howie Roseman, the best general manager, Andrew Berry and Howie are very close. And it's one of these things. Howie's very aggressive. You saw what he did at the trade deadline. He got a quality starting edge for a 3rd-round pick, Jalen Phillips. I know he's on the final year of his deal, but they're really good. But the thing is, Adam, it's too bad the Browns are 2-8 and won't go to the playoffs. The league overall, the 32 teams, there's no dominant team. If you could get in the playoffs this year, you could actually run the table. That's how mediocre the level of talent is. in the National Football League this year.
I agree. It's been such a strange season. I mean, you look at Kansas City, you look at Baltimore, obviously Cincinnati, not as highly thought of as those teams, but there's a lot of teams you expected to be in the playoff hunt that aren't, and vice versa. Obviously, teams like New England, the Rams, and Seattle have looked great. And I don't know, maybe we had those teams in the playoffs. I don't know that anybody thought those three teams would be amongst the best in the league at this point, right?
No, the last thing I'll tell you, Adam, is no on New England. I like the under 8.5 to talk about Bet Rivers.
Yeah.
I'll admit it. And I'm happy. I know a lot of people work for the Patriots, so I'm so happy for them because who the hell saw this? Roster's really not that good. The quarterback's playing elite.
Amazing.
Coaching is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Coaching matters, by the way.
Yep.
But Seattle, I did pick in my preseason. I have to pick. For 2 polls, I have to pick. I had Seattle in the playoffs. I wish I would have picked them to win the division. They actually may win it, although the Rams look like it. The Colts, I didn't have them. I had them at 7-10.
Yeah.
Under Chris Bauer, their GM, they're always mediocre. I mean, Daniel Jones, who saw this? This is the craziness of it, Adam. This
Nuts.
business.
Yeah.
You just never really know. It's like when Kelly Holcomb for the Browns.
Yeah.
Did they not make the playoffs that year? They made the playoffs that 1 year, right?
Yep. And then Derek Anderson, they did not make the playoffs.
Yeah,
they did not make the playoffs, but they won it. Right. I won 10 or 11. I can't remember now. It was 10 or 11.
Or I was talking to John T. Flippo, the former, talking to Flip a couple weeks ago about it when he was in Cleveland at 15. What he did with Gary Barnidge.
Yeah.
You can't fit. Gary Barnidge was a third tight end, a wide tight end.
Yeah.
He has a Pro Bowl like season. It's got. I know the Browns pretty well. It's funny the stuff as you and I talk, they just come through my mind. But that's what happens when you get older. You remember stuff.
That's right. All right, Adam. Well, we'll have to talk again another day. We'll look forward to that. I appreciate it as always. Thank you for joining me.
You got it. Thank you.
All right. It's Adam Caplan, of course, NFL Insider, Sirius XM. Good to chat with him in the bullpen today. Thank you all for joining me. Thanks to Z and Alex for producing today. We'll talk to you next time right here with Bet Rivers in the bullpen with Adam the Bull.